So many populist nationalists in Ireland are now praising Free State Minister for Justice Jim O'Callaghan's intention to establish new migrant detention centres. These centres will be apparently modelled, in part anyway, on the United States ICE network of facilities for holding non-Ukrainian individuals pending deportation. These proponents see this as vital for restoring credibility to Ireland's immigration rules. Swift enforcement after fair decisions signals that laws will be upheld and potentially deterring unfounded applications while freeing resources for legitimate protection needs and integration. Minister for Justice Jim O'Callaghan and colleagues have already ramped up deportation orders and charter flights for non-Ukrainians, alongside tighter rules on welfare, citizenship, timelines and accommodation charges for working non-Ukrainian asylum seekers. Now, leaving aside for a second the obvious, let's say, issues with the United States model, let's for a second examine this narrative about Ireland taking control of our own sovereignty. They've argued that increased arrivals strained housing and public services already under pressure, supposedly from population growth, and fueled community tensions in towns across the country. While an increase in arrivals was definitely a factor, are we to believe that an ICE-like detention regime for non-Ukrainians will solve a housing emergency caused by unrestrained entry into the housing market of vulture funds and other financial entities of the transnational Epstein class? Are we to believe that it will solve a health emergency caused by years of creeping privatisation on behalf of this same class? Are we to believe that the Zionist-dominated Dublin government, who purposely put IPAS centres in under-resourced areas, would not try to find a new way to divide society? Remember, welfare cheats cheat us all. This is to keep us fighting each other, so they can rule more effectively for the interests of Washington, Brussels and Tel Aviv. And are we to believe that this system of detention for those deemed illegitimate really represents Irish sovereignty and self-determination? Keep in mind now that who is or is not legitimate will be decided by Brussels, not by Dublin. So we have to look at the bigger picture here. Countries like Ireland forfeited their sovereignty to the EU in exchange for access to EU markets. The EU in turn dictates immigration policy to Ireland, and the EU's apartheid asylum policy does not serve the citizens of Ireland or those seeking asylum. It is a system designed to align European countries with the Zionist-dominated US empire. And isn't it curious that this intention now to establish these centres is arising now, like after all this time, when we're facing a global recession as a result of the war of aggression on Iran by the Netanyahu US-Israeli entity? I think they're anticipating a slowdown in the labour market when this catastrophic war is over and the empire is defeated, which looks like it could very well be the case. Well, it'll be Iran that will control the oil resources, and China which will control the technology we need for the 21st century. So even leaving beside morality or solidarity or who started this or who was the bully for a minute, from a purely pragmatic, cold point of view, Ireland has to have good relations with these countries, while the Epstein empire, which started this war and decides our immigration policy, will have nothing of benefit to offer Ireland. Only when we break the chains of the Zionist-dominated EU can we have a just and reasonable asylum policy, with one which does not divide the working class and aligns with Ireland's historic anti-colonial stance.